Hello, Aries. Welcome back to the channel. Aries, the Emperor here, back with another general reading for all of my Aries collective. If you guys are new here, welcome. All right, hit that like and subscribe button so that you'll be notified when I upload or go live. Speaking of live, oh wow, I feel like is today Saturday? I owe you guys a live, don't I? Well, I've already hit record, so I'm going to continue with this message because I'm definitely feeling one. I'm definitely feeling the spirit, but I'll try and make room, make time later on to try and do a quick live for you guys, just to check in with you. Hopefully around the same time, okay? So just stay tuned. All right. Thank you also to all of you guys who take the time to like, subscribe, comment, for all of your shares, your donations. Thank you to those of you who purchased from my Amazon wish list. Right now, I am running a special on all of my personal readings, excluding the same day reading, the general questions, and the video call reading. Other than that, the rest of my readings at this time are $33.33. You can still order from the website per usual, but if you would like to do the $33.33 as far as the personal readings, then you'll need to reach out and email me. Okay. All right. And all my information is in the description box located down below. I think just hit the more button, or there should be an arrow down right below the title. All right, so let's get into it, y'all. Let's see what messages come out for you in the spread. Sun in Libra, moon in scatterbrained Gemini is what I'm getting right now. That type of energy is an energy. If you've ever been driving down the street, you know what I mean? You cruising, singing the favorite part of your favorite song, and all of a sudden a squirrel decides to dart out and stop right in the middle of your car as you're slamming your brakes, and not only stop, but decide right in front of your car to turn around and run right back in the same direction that they darted out from. Okay? Almost just changed your entire, not only day, but possibly life. You know what I mean? Now, some of y'all probably would have been like, fuck that. I'm right on over it. But you know what I mean? I'm just saying in general, that's Gemini energy for you. Just what in your right mind tells you that is okay to do. You know what I mean here? So some of you guys may be feeling a little scatterbrain, a little brain fog. That type of energy is definitely at play, mixed with the Aries energy that's already up there lingering. So we have some air and some earth out there. So mixed with fire, that could mean one of two things, honey. It's either you on an energy of fucking explanation. I'll set all this shit on fire. I'll set all this shit ablaze. You know what I'm saying? That's the energy that you could be giving right now. Let's get into it. Or someone could be feeling this type of energy towards you. All right, this could be somebody you've dealt with in the past, obsessive lover. This could be somebody you're currently with. You know what I mean? Sometimes we get with people and they hide things. They're very good at hiding and keeping certain things away from us. You know what I mean? That clearly it could be detrimental to you in some way, shape, or form. If anybody's needing to hide anything from you, But this is a energy on the level of karmic. Toxic for sure. It's definitely not healthy. Tell me more, spirit. Let's set the scene up. All right, like I said here, obsessive, if not obsessive, stalking, looking you up. And this is back to back. So this is like level 2. No. This is like level 3, level 4 stage clinger type energy. Tell me more, spirit. This cannot be real. Stalker. Yet I know in one of somebody's life out, this is very real. Stalker. Yet again, another obsessive energy. Once we get into the tarot more, I'll be able to clarify more, but I really feel like this is really boiling down to an energy of you obsessing over something. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person. It could be. You could have your own personal reason as to why. It's nobody's business but your own. You know what I mean? You could be worried about someone. Are they coming back? How are they doing? Do they still think about me? Do they still have feelings or emotions for me? You know, are they, you know, you're wondering, like I said, how you're doing. You know, somebody could be. Or you could be, like I said. All right, but we have Forcer. And wolf in sheep's clothing. You know, that's the worst thing. One of the worst things that you could, you know, have an Aries wrapped up in is a mask. You know what I mean? Whole time I'm keeping it like 1,000 with you, $1. You know what I mean? And you have the nerve to sit in my face with that gaudy ass look, knowing that's not even a piece of who you are. You would dare want to feed me garbage? You know what I mean? And not think I would look at you any lower than scum or any higher than scum. You know, is people can just be it's disgusting behavior. You know what I mean? It's scary behavior. And in people who are obsessive over you, they have to camouflage themselves. They have to blend in. They have to, you know what I mean, look like they're not paying attention to you, especially if this is somebody that's playing a long game. And like I said, this could be someone keeping tabs on you for whatever reason. Or you keeping tabs on someone for whatever reason. You keeping tabs on something that is somebody watching and keeping up with something that they feel may be of some importance. They may gain some type of information, some type of leeway, some type of push forward type energy is what this is giving. But it's giving an energy of somebody trying to force. Somebody trying to force to get what they want. And when you do that, you really don't get what you want. You know, that's the joy of getting what you want, attracting it, you know, building and you know, going the stretch with it, not forcing it. You know, you want something like it fits you perfectly. You fit you perfectly. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like this would really be an energy of you needing or having a reason to obsess over someone when it comes down to a certain thing as far as self goes and who you actually are. And hopefully y'all can hear me clearly because I have this turned all the way up and my mouth is all the way here. So I saw a few people in the comments who are like, they can't hear me. But when I run the playback, baby, it's crystal clear. Do you hear me? All right, let's get some messages. Let's see. Whatever it is that people feel like you're forcing yourself to do or forcing yourself into, they feel like they need to do it too. But you can't do something that you don't have the blueprint in, that you can't continue something. You know what I mean? And when it's like that, you got to fall in line, Aries, and they got to fall in line. But guess what? I'm getting a feeling like an energy, like when you're done with what you need up out of it, there's not going to be anything left. Is you setting that shit ablaze. And because you are the actual fire, you know what I mean? They just logs that are going to be thrown to the fire to keep the fire going and growing if need be. And that's you. There's no force in that. That's natural. And that's why I said people want to force themselves into something. They forcing themselves into a fire that they're not going to make it out of. Why they trying to pretend and walk around as a wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay, you going to get what you want. Because we rams over here, not lambs. Page of Swords. But like I said, Aquarius energy. They're going to have to watch. They're going to have to, and this right here is researching something. This is having a high level of curiosity in something here. Look how big this man is. Look how stalkerish this man looks. Hovering over this small figure lady. Very Frankensteinish. Y'all can have people in your life like that. Dumb, stupid, or slow. Pick one. Because it's real. It's very real. Sometimes people choose to be dumb. You know what I mean? And stay away from people like that. Because until they get themselves some sense, hey, don't let them make you lose yours. Okay? But like I said, we got the Page of Swords out here. So, I mean, that's a clear indicator there. You know, talking, watching, stalking, obsessing. All right, more messages, Spirit. All right, we have the Ace of Pentacles to come out. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy, the Eight of Cups, Pisces energy. I feel like, look at this, like it's not really clouds, you know, it's more like smoke, and either you walking towards it or you're walking away from it, you know, on to the next, you know, adventure for you is what this is given with this Ace of Pentacles here. This is like unlocking something, unlocking the next level of life for you, you know, the next reward, you know, the whatever you're going to need on the next lap of your race here is what this is. Whether this is food, money, shelter, just a change in your health and in your diet, you know, in your relationships. And just wherever this is, you know, it looks like this is a maze right here in this Ace of Pentacles. And this is exactly what we are in and what we're living in and day out. Life is a maze until we get to whatever city, state, country, side, you know, whatever it is that we're wanting to get to. That Ace of Pentacles here, you know, this is another token for you. This is, you know, whatever you needed to make this payment on that, you know what I mean? Or to get you through the next month or the next year, or to set you up, whatever it is that you resonate with, you know, and you're figuring that out. And yeah, you may see people doing things a lot differently, and it may seem like they're getting a lot further, or they're more high and mightier or holier than you, and trust and believe in the day and age that we live in. You know, a lot is very much so image before anything else, you know. So just as with this energy, you know, go by your rules, you know, go by your playbook with this Eight of Cups here. Go by what's leading you here, because like I said, you see these cups here, you've gotten everything you needed up out of them. And now Spirit, with wherever smoke signal, SOS, you know what I mean, smoke, fire, whatever, you know, you getting the message here, and the sun itself is still shining where it needs to be, and that's in the walk of your path, in the light of your path, collective here. Even after people may feel like, oh, Aries was wrong for that, Aries didn't have to talk to me like that, cuss me out like that, Aries didn't have to leave me like that, Aries didn't have to whatever. Clearly Aries did, and they had to burn that shit down because it was through. Okay? The city put a notice on it. We tearing this down. Aries said, I do you one better. I'm finna burn this motherfucker down. And that's what you're doing. You know what I mean? Live a little. Do a little. Say a little. Give a little. However you need to. Because I'm getting a lot of y'all are not afraid with the hermit, but you come afraid to come out of your shell is exactly what I was going to say. Like you're afraid to express something again, do something again. You know what I mean? You might, hey, think about it, talk about it. Yeah, if something is still connected to you soul wise, then you need to sit down and you need to have a conversation with your spirit guides. Because this is definitely an energy of grounding. Somebody definitely needs to go hug a tree here. People could call you a tree hugger. You know, wasn't that like a term for like hippies or something like that back in the day? You could be along those lines. Hell, I am. I'm proud of it. What other messages? And Virgo, it can be like 12th house is hidden enemies. Virgo is enemies too, hidden or not. I'm talking about judgy type energy is what Virgo can give. Harsh. You know what I mean here. So this could very well be energies that you've been dealing with here. You know what I mean? They're harsh, may not be your type of harsh. And when you do give your type of harsh, it do feel like that you're burning somebody alive, their soul. And maybe people are upset, you know, because you're not explaining yourself either. That causes people to stalk you when they don't get the reaction or the final answer or just whatever they're trying to do to get you riled up, rised up. I feel like that causes people, you know, when you walk and take your energy and your light with you. You know, I read something that says, when I walk away, I usually take the light with me type energy. Yeah, that's what you're doing. But that's what you're doing. I'm just going to say that. You take the light with you, Aries, and then you go somewhere and sit in a shade tree. And people be pissed off. Yeah, they coming to see you do that. Somebody's keeping an eye on you. For sure. Because then she's like high up in the tree. So that's like a bird's eye. Some of y'all could be being watched at your job. These could be moments when you think you're in private, but you're really not. We have the Empress, Taurus energy. The Tower, Aries energy. Not right now. No. All right, this Four of Swords, Gemini energy. All right, so we have the Strength to come out, the Two of Swords, and the Hangman, which is Leo, Libra, Pisces energy. Now, you could be dealing with any of these signs, or you could have these signs aspected in your natal chart as well. All right. And the Eight of Swords. Gemini energy is what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck here. So, Aries. The Tower for sure came out, and you know what that means. Y'all should know at least y'all should know what that means by now. If you've been watching me, because I know I'll be breaking these cards down. Normally, the tower is an actual tower depicted in the card, and it's on fire. It's ablaze. You know, there's people who have jumped out of a window, or who have, you know, been pushed out of a window from the fire, and they're plummeting. Is how the actual tower card looks. You know, it's a catastrophe. It's something that is actually set ablaze. Thank you for the confirmation, Spirit. As I sat and reflected, you know, on its energy. You know what I mean? It literally is just something being set ablaze. And in that, if you've ever seen glass makers, you know, and how they mold and they literally build, not build, but like I said, you know, mold and bend, and create like this beautiful, just glass creations. You know what I mean? That is what you are coming out of, as far as this tower energy goes. You know, maybe this was like a stray cat out there just thrown to the dumpster, to the wolves. You know, it's nobody wants you. You know, you've reached a certain age, you're not cute, you're not blah blah blah, you're not this. You know what I mean? No kid's gonna want to play with you or whatever. And when very well, you know, you are the total opposite. There is somewhere for you even better than the place that you just left from. Even if you did have to set everything on fire and leave it all behind to move forward. You know what I mean? That's what this is about here. Comfort. You know what I mean? Peace. You know what I mean? When you lose your damn mind, you can't do nothing. Nothing. If you've ever really actually felt like you was losing it, you done spent, you know, a few days or a few months. You know what I mean? Some people years. You know, just going through the motions, if you can do that, you know what I mean. But this right here is that, you know, is you feel, and the way you feel is just so strong, you know, that's something that Spirit is not just gonna let you turn off. You know what I mean? You may not love the same, but you very much are going to keep loving. You may not put the same love in the same areas or in the same people or in the same ways, you know what I mean? But you very well, there is another cycle of love, of success, you know what I mean? Of passion, of whatever it is you want to manifest for yourself. You know, that's why you got that Wheel of Fortune, you know, for you to have another reason to spin the wheel, another opportunity to spin the wheel. That's what that wheel is there for. That's what connecting up there is for, you know what I mean? For you to go back and do it again if you need to. With this Hanged Man energy, you got access. Shit, you're doing your laundry at Spirit's house as it is. Look at your underwear hanging on the clothesline. I don't know why your legs in the air, but I guess we'll talk about that later. Huh. Aries. And the tower connected to the Hanged Man coming out. 12th house, you know, is the tail, and first house, you the head. Head of the household. You get to file on your spiritual taxes. You know what I'm saying? That means a lot. That's a lot. You put a lot of work in. You know, you crawled so others can walk and run. Sometimes it be like that. You know what I mean? We got the Two of Swords here and the Strength card. But guess what? You know, you still are at the table. A lot of y'all, like I said, you are the actual creator of the table. You know what I mean here? So I feel like people could be mad too, because Aries no shady. All right, you're not sharing like you used to anymore. It's a switch up. It's a change up. You know what I mean? And good for you. You know, people expect you to stick to the same script over and over again. And if that's something that you want to do, then kudos to you as well. You know, you stand in the strength energy. So you're confident in what it is that you got going. That's how you're supposed to be. at the same time. But the Two of Swords, it's like you can cut things out. You can cut people out. You could still find a way. You could still, have motion, and, just make a way for yourself without those people who may have shunned you out or dished you, you know what I'm saying, or didn't believe in you or fake friended you. They're going to be obsessed, or they're already obsessing over you, because they can't figure you out. You know what I mean? Even if they think they did, you still showing them, you don't need to be a wolf in nobody's sheep's clothing. You a big dog. All right. You a big ram. Okay. You a empress, emperor. The empress is out here. The empress stands alone, but heavily guarded. All right, the Page of Cups and the Ace of Cups. Pisces and Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer energy. All right, we have the Three of Swords, Gemini energy. And the Ace of Wands, Aries energy. The Two of Cups, Cancer energy is what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck. And here are these three here. I'll show you guys. Okay. I can only imagine what that just was. I don't know why, little boys he has to jump off of something at least 5 times a day. So hopefully that was number 5. All right. So like I said, the Ace of Cups, Three of Swords, and the Ace of Wands, Aries energy. Burning, fire, ablaze. Like if she was to whoever this is, whoever you are, if you was to drop this hammer right now, Aries, somebody would be in trouble. And I hate to even bring this up because this is giving that energy of that explosive LLC, that business in Nashville that was yesterday morning. It blew up, and what, 19 people are missing, unaccounted for. Just the photos. I mean, I even dreamed about it. But I'm not going to go into it. But I mean, this is really what this is giving. I'm not even going to lie. With the Three of Swords. All right. Some type of heartbroken energy. And the Ace of Cups. This could mean, Ace of Cups could mean a crossover as well here. Like this giving like a Blue Jay energy. Blue Jays are spiritual meaning, communication, they're messengers. So this could be touching on that energy as well. My condolences to anyone of my listeners if you or someone who is affected. My heart goes out to all of the families, okay, and you as well. But I feel like this really gives an energy. Also, it could be a message, a messenger of some sort. Like I said, a communication. But the title of the reading, like I said here, you setting shit ablaze, emotions, whether that's yours, that's others. You're putting those emotions to paper. You're freeing yourself from negative relationships and jumping into positive ones. There's that smoke again. And now it's leading you, like I said, to be fed to water, to whatever it is that people are wanting. You have you have the directions and you don't even know until, like I said, you're given the next key, the next message to it. So right now, this energy has been coming up a lot. You are the Empress. You are the Emperor. You are in that energy. You are on fire. Take advantage. For sure is what this is saying. But like I said here, you're going to have to step on toes and hurt a few feelings here to come when it comes down to your peace, your structure, your success, your stability. And that's just that on that, Aries. There ain't no way around it. Okay? We in the 4th quarter at this point. and I'm trying to go to the championship. Like, what's up? Who's with me? You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of timing that you on. And like I said here, Aries, you don't care who it is, where they at, where y'all at or anything. You know what I'm saying? You be in the energy where I'll knock all this shit over. And pay for it, start over, buy another one, whatever. You know what I mean? And this is that energy of that. You know, it's the shake back, it's the comeback. It's not a setback, you know, it's setting you up for a major comeback. And I like that. Let me just say I like that. Okay. I'm going to leave this read here, y'all. Like I said, I'm going to try and pop back on here later. We'll see. Yeah, my little one is knock, knock, knock every 5 seconds here. And I got a little bit more work to do. So I will catch you guys later. Love you. Ciao.